Saturn, the jewel of the solar system. Saturn is the sixth planet in the solar system and the second gas giant. Even though this planet is famous for its complex rings, there is a lot more to know about this enormous gas giant. Here are some essential Saturn facts. Presented by AWZ. The second largest planet in terms of mass and diameter in the solar system, Saturn is the sixth planet from the Sun. It is simple to understand why Saturn and Jupiter have been classified as relatives when compared. These two planets share a great deal in common, from atmospheric makeup to spin. These reasons led to the naming of Saturn after the Roman mythological father of the god Jupiter. The main components of the gas giant Saturn are hydrogen and helium. With a mass of almost 95 times that of Earth, Saturn is the second most massive planet in the solar system and has a volume more than 760 Earths. The only planet that is less dense than water is the ringed planet, which has the lowest density of all the planets. Saturn would float if there was a bathtub big enough to hold it. The rapid winds in Saturn's upper atmosphere, which can reach speeds of up to 1,100 miles per hour, 1,800 kilometers per hour at its equator, along with heat rising from the planet's interior, are what cause the yellow and gold bands seen in its atmosphere. Saturn rotates once every 10.5 hours on average. Saturn bulges at its equator and flattens at its poles as a result of the planet's rapid spin. The planet's equator is around 75,000 miles, 120,000 kilometers broad, while its poles are 68,000 miles, 109,000 kilometers apart. In 1610, Galileo Galilei became the first person to observe Saturn's rings, though through his telescope they appeared more like handles or arms. With a more potent telescope, and 45 years later, in 1655, Dutch astronomer Christiaan Huygens hypothesized that Saturn had a thin, flat ring. The structure and makeup of the rings continues to be better understood as science created better tools. In reality, Saturn contains a number of rings that range in size from a grain of sugar to a house and are composed of billions of ice and rock particles. The particles are thought to be leftovers from broken moons, asteroids, or comets. A 2016 study added the possibility that the rings are the remains of dwarf planets. The greatest ring has a diameter that is 7,000 times larger than the Earth. The primary rings are usually only a little over 30 feet, 9 meters, thick, but the Cassini-Huygens mission discovered vertical formations in several of the rings, with particles accumulating in bumps and ridges more than 2 miles, 3 kilometers high. In alphabetical sequence according to when they were found, the rings are named. Working out from the planet, the primary rings are designated as C, B, and A. The outermost ring discovered to far is so large that it could contain 1 billion Earths. The innermost ring is the exceedingly faint D ring. Rings B and A are divided by the Cassini division, a chasm that is around 4,700 kilometers, 2,920 miles wide. Saturn's rings include mysterious spokes that appear to form and disperse in a matter of hours. These spokes may be made of electrically charged sheets of dust-sized particles that were produced by small meteors striking the rings or by electron beams from the planet's lightning, according to scientific speculation. Additionally, the F ring of Saturn has an oddly braided appearance. The ring is made up of a number of smaller rings that have bends, kinks, and colorful clusters that can give the appearance that they are braided. The appearance of the rings has also been affected by impacts from comets and asteroids. By the end of its mission, the Cassini spacecraft had come the closest to the rings of Saturn. Although the data from the probe is still being processed, it has already revealed information about the hues of some of Saturn's moons. The probe made fresh measurements of the planet's magnetic field, which generates a strong electron current, and discovered extremely complex compounds in the ring rain of debris falling from the rings into the atmosphere in the spaces between the rings. Saturn has 62 moons or more. The largest moon in the solar system, Titan, is only slightly smaller than Mercury and is the second largest after Jupiter's moon Ganymede. Earth's moon is the fifth largest. The moons have a variety of severe traits. Iapetus has a side that is as dazzling as snow, while Pan and Atlas have the shape of flying saucers. The 101 geysers discovered at the southern pole of Enceladus, which exhibits ice volcanism, spout water, and other substances. Because they interact with ring material and maintain the orbits of the rings, some of these satellites, including Prometheus and Pandora, are known as shepherd moons. Saturn has numerous minor moons, many of which astronomers have named, and more are continuously being formed and destroyed. The gravitational pull of Saturn, the second most massive planet in the solar system after Jupiter, has contributed to the development of our solar system. It might have assisted in violently flinging Neptune and Uranus outward. Early in the history of the solar system, it might have thrown a bombardment of junk into the inner planets together with Jupiter. In order to comprehend the function that Jupiter, Saturn, and other planets perform in our solar system, scientists are still studying about the birth of gas giants and running simulations of the early solar system. According to a 2017 study, Saturn guides potentially deadly asteroids farther away from Earth than Jupiter. Pioneer 11 was the first spacecraft to orbit Saturn, flying within 13,700 miles, 22,000 kilometers, of the ringed planet in 1979. Astronomers were able to identify two of the planet's outer rings and its powerful magnetic field from images taken by the probe. Astronomers learned that the planet's rings are made up of smaller ringlets thanks to the Voyager mission. 3 of Saturn's moons were discovered thanks to information the ship also transmitted back. The largest interplanetary spacecraft ever built was the Cassini orbiter for Saturn. The 6 tons, 2-story tall probe, 5.4 metric tons. It carried the Huygens probe, which successfully penetrated Titan's atmosphere and landed on the moon Titan, and it assisted in identifying plumes on the icy moon Enceladus. After a decade of observation, Cassini sent back amazing information on the ringed planet and its moons in 2013. It also sent back an image that recreated the famous pale blue dot photograph, which shows Earth seen from behind Saturn. With little possibility of hitting and contaminating a habitable moon, Cassini was intentionally slammed into Saturn in September 2017 to bring the mission to an end. Future missions to Saturn are not planned, but researchers have suggested sending probes to Titan or the ice moon Enceladus. NASA revealed in 2019 that it would launch the rotorcraft lander Dragonfly in 2026, and it would land on Titan in 2034. Dragonfly will use a mass spectrometer among its many other onboard tools to look for the chemical building ingredient for life on Titan. Saturn's rings occasionally vanish. One of the most enigmatic facts about Saturn is this: the axis of Saturn is inclined. We observe this planet's shifting positions as it circles around the Sun from our vantage point. The rings are occasionally discovered in all their splendor, while other times it seems as though they have suddenly vanished. This loss of rings was previously noticed in 2008 to 2009, and it will occur once again in 2024 to 2025. So, while it may appear that Saturn's magnificent rings are dwindling away, they actually remain in place. Saturn is the source of Saturday. The only day of the week that still honors its Roman roots is Saturday. It has the names of Saturn, the planet, and the Roman god. Saturn, the agricultural god of the Romans, is thought to have ruled Earth during a time of prosperity and virtue. Saturn is known as Shani, the Lord of Justice in Indian mythology. There might be life close to Saturn. One of the most fascinating Saturnian truths that has personally astounded me is this: life cannot exist on Saturn. Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, has ice geysers erupting from its south pole, according to NASA's Cassini mission. On Earth, life can be found everywhere there is liquid water. Consequently, life may exist close to Saturn. It is incredible that this ringed planet is so far from the Sun that it takes 29 Earth years for it to complete one circle of the Sun. Even though this planet has only been visited by spacecraft 4 times, astronomers are still in awe of it. Its charming rings undoubtedly contribute to it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and tell your friends about it so we can make more like it. Click the subscribe button to see more content like this, and don't forget to activate the notification bell. Watch our other videos as well if you haven't already. Thank you for viewing.